Wow. It is now being reported that Jermell Charlo has agreed to terms to fight fellow champion Jason Rosario. We gonna talk about that. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash app, and the Patreon family. We working. Sign up for the Patreon, link in the description, or become a YouTube channel member. Just hit the join button below. Let's get it. This is a follow-up video. Hours ago on my channel, if you're new, consider subscribing. I dropped the latest and greatest in this boxing game. I made a video and it was looking like Jason Rosario, unified champion, and Jermell Charlo were about to fight. And excuse this, you know, I'm not banging. This ain't no banging shit. I'm actually dusting, and I have my RONA mask. It's in my whip for when I go out and stuff like that. So I was dusting the ceiling fan. So this ain't no banging shit. I know people might look at it and be like, oh yeah, gang, huh? Nah. But so I made a video earlier, and it was about the prospect, the potential, the rumor. But according to Mike Coppinger of The Athletic and other sources are now reporting that this is agreed. Says sources, Jermell Charlo and Jason Rosario have agreed to terms on a deal for a title fight bout that will headline much, you know, obviously it's going to be a headliner. PBC on Fox, September 19th or 26th. Could be first significant fight since boxing's return, excluding pay-per-view versus DAZN. I don't know what DAZN has to do with that, but I don't know. I don't even know what that DAZN comment was even about. But great fight. Jermell Charlo, Lions only. Man. Jermell's twin brother Jermall has his own notable title fight coming up against Sergey Derevyanchenko. And there were a lot of people that were saying that Canelo was going to get Derevyanchenko. Listen, this is bad news for old media. Let me just start off by saying, it says, when is the fight cop, the Charlo Derevyanchenko, September, October. Listen, these are all great fights for both Charlo. And it's looking so shaky for old media because old media, they never give credit to the Charlo brothers, oftentimes never give credit to black fighters. But both, if you really look at this, both Charlo brothers are virtually in unifications. And I have to use the word virtually because we all know Sergey Derevyanchenko in his last fight on DAZN got jobbed. He got robbed. They jerked him. They fucking jerked him. We know Derevyanchenko really beat guys Gennady Golovkin, right? So based on popular opinion, Derevyanchenko is absolutely the guy that should be holding that strap around his waist, that IBF strap, because it was for the vacant title. Somehow, you know, oh, what a quinky dink, boxing gets it wrong again with poor scorecards, and another Triple G close fight that was controversial, and somehow Triple G is awarded on all three judges' scorecards a unanimous decision. So every judge seen Triple G winning that fight, which is hard to believe if you look at the fight. You know, they did this in the Jacobs fight. Somehow, some way, he gets a clear cut. All judges see it his way. Even in, and this is a fight people bring up, even in Andre Ward versus Sergey Kovalev, that was extremely close, but all three judges had it by one round. They all had like the same scorecard. So that means Andre Ward skated by one round, which indicated what we had seen, a close fight. But when you look at these Triple G UDs, right? They have him winning by several rounds or a landslide, which didn't indicate those types of fights. Daniel Jacobs on HBO pay-per-view or Derevyanchenko fight, his second fight with DAZN. Now, this is going to be nasty for old media because my first video, it's doing numbers. And people genuinely seem excited for this matchup with Charlo. And you just listen to what's being said from old media. They say that, oh, Charlo's picking on an old man and De La Hoya. De La Hoya says he can do damage at 154. Charlo, he says he's the king at 154. Now he has a chance to prove it. So you can't get mad at him for responding to De La Hoya, who says he's jumping back in the game, right? And one thing I noticed, I told you, I'm not really with the clout chasing in boxing. I get social media and the importance of it and stuff, but you notice some people, like fighters and networks and promoters, some people are talking about what they hope and why this fight fell apart, but other people are doing. And if PBC, if this is true and they've agreed to it, which looks like it is the case, I haven't heard anything that goes against it, then you have to give credit to Jermall Charlo and Jermell Charlo, because virtually they're both in unification. So Jermell absolutely is in the unification because Rosario undoubtedly won his last fight via destructive stoppage in his guy's backyard. He fought Julian J. Rock Williams in Williams' backyard of Philly and knocked him out and hurt him badly. No controversy. That was this year, people. So what Premier Boxing Champions is doing with these Charlo fights is phenomenal, because we've been in a pandemic and we haven't had matches like this, which is what I've said. But they're striking while the iron's hot. Rosario's popping. Before that, you know, maybe his name wasn't as big, but that's neither here nor there, because the bottom line is, before this pandemic, this year in January, he was given the opportunity and he seized the opportunity and he stopped J-Rock. So they're striking while the iron's hot. And in recent memory, we could think of a brilliant victory. And if we go deeper than that, J-Rock is a good fighter, and I think he still is a good fighter. And the thing about it is this: J-Rock was coming off of his biggest win. J-Rock fought Swift Jared Hurd and looked sensational. You know, a lot of people thought, oh, Jermall, the other Charlo, had beat J-Rock, so they said, oh, Hurd's going to walk him down and get a late stoppage or something. And then J-Rock looks sensational, drops Hurd, and goes on to dominate. And then Hurd has to kind of rebound and rebuild, switches his team up a little bit, and, you know, kind of take a tune-up and take a step back because he lost his belts to J-Rock. So for J-Rock to have that type of momentum, go into the January Rosario fight, right, and then lose in that fashion where he got stopped. It was like a bad stoppage by J-Rock, right? Violent, aggressive. His eyes were rolling in the back of his head. He was like stunned. So for Jermell, you can't say he's not a dog, because they're striking while the iron's hot. This is literally Rosario's best win of his whole career, beating J-Rock, a noted champion who's been high in the rankings. Even when he fought Jermall Charlo, the reason that fight took place is because he was the #1 ranked mandatory, right? So he's always been high in the rankings. Then after the Charlo loss, J-Rock rebuilt, and then it crescendoed with the Hurd performance, and then immediately in his first hometown title defense, he loses. So how can I not give the people you see on screen credit when their two opponents that they're about to fight, from all intents and purposes, are guys coming off of their career best wins? The Charlos are every bit of the dogs that people say they are, because they're fighting people and striking while the iron's hot. They fear no man. They fear no competition. They're like, okay, let's get it. Rosario, again, this is best win of his whole career, was his last fight in January. Derevyanchenko just fought Triple G in October of last year, and that was his best performance. I think Derevyanchenko looked better versus Triple G and looked like he was about to drop or stop him. So he looks better than he looked even in the Jacobs fight. You know, styles make fights. Plus, he knew Jacobs well, and they had sparred 200, 400 rounds together. I'm very impressed if PBC gets these fights done. I'm very impressed with Premier Boxing Champions, and more importantly, the fighter, because they have to be willing to take it. Like, how can old media not give Charlos credit if they fight who it looks like they're about to fight, right? But they're not using no excuses. You don't hear excuses, I'm not getting paid enough. You don't hear excuses of like, hey, we're coming off a pandemic, give me a cupcake. This is real life competition. And the great thing about it is PBC has the opportunity to get it right when they come back, because Erickson Lubin, he's climbed back in the rankings since losing to Jermell. stuff like that. So you could put Erickson Lubin, Terrell Goucher, or one of these other rumored fights on it. Or you can do Jermell and Jermall Charlo, which the PBC has employed this strategy in the past. Put it back to back. Like 1 week is Jermell fighting, and then the next week is Jermall fighting. And the other thing, they're spreading it. So they're going to be on, probably Jermall's going to be on Showtime, and Jermell's likely to be on Fox. So they're spreading the love to the two networks. You know, shout out to PBC, shout out to the Lions Only movement and Charlos. These are good fights. You know, old media is going to really struggle with this one because they want to perpetuate these notions and try to emasculate black fighters, African-American fighters, and, you know, say, oh, the Charlos are fighting bums and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, everybody who's been following boxing, they know what it is. Canelo is literally the names rumored for him to fight. Caleb Smith, he lost his last fight to John Ryder in the eyes of many, versus Jermall Charlo. If he fights Derevyanchenko, in the eyes of many, Derevyanchenko is the champion because he beat Triple G. Clear-cut difference. John Ryder is coming off an L. Jason Rosario is not coming off of an L. You know, the other names, you know, with Canelo are guys like Jason Quigley, right? He just got knocked out last year and took real 2 light tune-ups. So how can you, I know it feels good to old media, for old media to just perpetuate these lies and, you know, have these racist vibes when it comes to certain fighters, but it don't make sense. You know, at the end of the day, it don't make sense. How does it make sense just saying it, oh, the Charlos ain't fighting nobody, and they're both basically about to do unifications? And I've already explained that. Sign up for ESPN Plus, link in the description. ESPN Plus, the home of a lot of original content. They got docuseries, documentaries, archive fights. Sign up. It does help the channel in a phenomenal way when you guys click on that link, ESPN Plus. Get it as a standalone app, or you can bundle it, ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus. All 3 apps, one price, $12.99 a month. Yeah, old media, they're going to have a difficult time explaining their way out of this one. And this proves that even in a pandemic, good fights can still get made if these fights come across. So, you know, we'll wait and see and let PBC announce it officially. But according to sources, the two have agreed, and ESPN, in the video I did earlier, ESPN confirmed that the IBF has granted permission for the fight. So the inquiry is there. They're inquiring about Jermell Charlo versus Rosario. So the fact that they're sending out these inquiries and trying to get the blessings of the sanctioning body looks like it's true. Shout out to the Charlos, man. It's going to be a rough summer, like I told you. New media. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego, signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.